So with the holidays around the corner, Veve has unveiled the 12 days of Veve. And during these 12 days, there's going to be an excess of 12 or more drops. And with multiple back-to-back drops, it's natural to see a gem squeeze, as we see things in the marketplace slowly starting to drop in price. This is so everyone can have some excess gems and participate in drops. In this situation, a lot of people can come at it from different angles. We have the people that sell things for cheap in order to get gems for the drop, and we have some people that are going into the marketplace to take advantage of the gem squeeze and are buying grails or secret rare comics, and there's so many ways to gamify this. And the same thing can be said about the immutable migration. People are always talking a ton of strategy for when we can list our collectibles on Opensea. We always ask which marketplace will be the dominant one, which one will prevail. However, today I wanted to give you my perspective. I believe that there's room for both. Let me explain. Now, in my last video, I talked a lot about gas fees and how expensive they were, and that hasn't changed. Whereas when you list on Veve, there's a 2.5% fee or an 8.5% fee depending on what collectible you list. And the person responsible for that fee is going to be the seller. Whereas the opposite is true when you list a collectible on Opensea, the person that has to pay that fee is going to be your buyer, and that's in the form of gas fees. So as a real-world collector of Pokemon cards, there are two platforms that people mainly use to buy and sell Pokemon cards from other people. And those two platforms are eBay and Heritage Auctions. So in my comparison, I would say that Veve best mirrors eBay, whereas Opensea best mirrors Heritage Auctions. Just drawing the correlation between the two, on eBay, the seller is responsible for the fee, as the buyer doesn't have to worry about that. They just have to worry about shipping and everything as listed. Whereas when you buy from Heritage Auctions, the buyer is the one that pays the fees. And this to me sounds a lot more like Opensea. I would say that on Heritage Auctions, this is where you list your high-end collectibles. So your first edition Charizards, your first edition base set Pokemon booster boxes, and your Spider-Man Amazing Fantasies number 15, which sold for a record $3.6 million. And on top of that, there's a buyer's premium when it comes to buying a collectible like that. So that falls onto the buyer. This sounds a lot to me like gas fees on Opensea. Now, the reason why I make this comparison is I wanted to give a real-world example of two marketplaces that serve a completely different clientele. And we can already see that happening right now. Your expensive CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs are being sold for Ethereum at ridiculous prices, whereas your Veve NFTs are being sold for a reasonable price at retail, and then the marketplace inside Veve is all built into the app, and these collectibles are a little bit more reasonable in comparison to Opensea prices. I wanted to bring this up because I wanted to set a realistic expectation for people putting a lot of money into Veve collectibles and buying up every single collectible they can possibly get their hands on, with the expectation of relisting it on Opensea and gaining a 100x or a 200x on their investment. Now, I could be completely wrong, and there are two sides to this, but my first draw is to draw from my collectible background, which says if everything is rare, then nothing is rare. However, if I follow the same logic when it comes to collecting Pokemon cards, the first couple seasons of Veve should be substantially more expensive than your collectibles that will be released 5 to 10 years down the road. Now, with that being said, I do see collectibles that are considered grails by the community. When people are able to list these items on Opensea, I do believe these items will still yield a fairly expensive value, as there's a lot of people that have bought in early with Ethereum and are unable to buy inside of the Veve app as their card is getting blocked by their bank, or there's other reasons to try to accumulate 100,000 gems just isn't reasonable. Whereas someone may have invested into Ethereum early on at $400, $200, $100, and now Ethereum's sitting at around $3,000 to $4,000. And when it comes to comparing prices on Veve, there's something about looking at a price point and seeing 10,000 gems as opposed to 3 Ethereum. The community has called these people ETH rich, and I do believe that the grails like the Walt Disney or the Secret Rare Spider-Man or the Gavinci Pride will fetch a higher price, as these things are limited and there's a huge cultural and historical value, and I believe most of these collectors will try to go after these items, especially when there's no limit or banks blocking their card. I wanted to make this video as with the 12 days of drops, people are going to be looking at different strategies on what to liquidate and what to hang on to and what to buy, and people are going to come across different advice from different people. So I wanted to give you every little perspective that I have when it comes to the immutable migration and how I see it playing out potentially. I do believe that the marketplace is exactly like the metaverse, as in the future there won't just be one metaverse, there won't just be the Veveverse, there will be Meta, there'll be the Veveverse, there might be a Microsoft world, there might be a Disneyland world, and they can all coexist, and these will all be different locations that we can go to. So it's only a matter of time before we see a Facebook marketplace or a Craigslist equivalent built into the metaverse. The way that I've chosen to come at it is to apply real life scenarios into my NFT collecting journey. And the comparison of these two marketplaces with eBay and Heritage Auctions just really stood out to me, and I wanted to share that perspective with you. Remember, this is not financial advice. The goal of this video was to give everyone out there a different perspective that I haven't really heard anyone talk about and draw from real life. Remember, even if your favorite YouTuber seems very sure of themselves, no one knows exactly how it's going to play out in the future. And let me know in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear your perspective. Please give the video a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.